That was great. That was great. It was great. 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 Need to open up a dictionary or something. Learn
Yeah,
some more words.
thesaurus. Yeah, I use that
Yeah.
one a lot. I also use fantastic. I
Yeah.
edit. I'm like
Yeah.
another fantastic.
I know. I listen back to a lot of the stuff too. I'm always like, awesome. Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. It was it really awesome? Yeah.
Oh, we like to have fun around here.
Get up and brush off the dew on that turf today. Turf today. Turf today. Cut it and roll that dew on that turf today. Turf today. Turf today. Set up, they about to come through on that turf today. Turf today. Turf today. Get up. Turf today. Get up. Turf today. Let's get out the way. Here comes first play. Let's maintain that turf today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Turf Today, presented by Toro and recorded on the Superintendent Network. We have an awesome episode for you guys today. Mr. Derek Williams will be joining the show. Hello, everyone. I'm Adam Kershane, joined by my co-host, as always, Mr. Brian Laurent. And you know what? This is an interesting one. We don't know what we're about to get from Derek, but we're very excited. He's got an interesting past and some stuff to talk about. So get ready, everyone. Here we go. So what's going on? You're on the golf
So,
course this morning?
yeah. Yeah. It was nice. Got back out there and used the camera and the drone and all the stuff. So
Nice.
teach myself all over again.
Yeah. Those first few mornings back
Yeah.
on, it's always fun. Up early this morning?
Not too early. Earlier than I've had to get at things lately. So
Yeah. It wasn't one of those ones where you had to beat the crew to the course and get all set up.
no, it wasn't one of those 3 a.m. shoots or something. It was, yeah, just a nice leisurely 6:45 arrival. Nothing too crazy.
How are the courses looking in your area?
Wet, definitely wet,
Wet,
but
yeah.
no, not too bad. I mean, it's starting to come alive. I was pretty surprised. Some of the fine playing surfaces, tees, fairways, greens, they look pretty good. A lot of the outskirt areas though are still pretty dormant and still pretty tired.
hmm
So it
Springtime
takes.
stuff.
I hate the springtime is like my least favorite season up here. It's just still, again, wet, cold, nothing's leafed out yet, so it just looks depressing,
Yeah,
for lack of a better term. It
definitely.
just looks depressing out there. So,
Definitely. But it's
so,
nice though. You
but
get that regeneration. There's some places where they don't get
yeah,
that, right? And it's the same stuff over and over again. So
yeah,
it is good to have that regrowth and, inspire you to go back outside and spend a whole bunch of money at Home Depot and all that kind of stuff, right?
that's right. That's right.
Turf Today is brought to you by the Toro Company and their complete lineup of irrigation solutions built for golf course superintendents. With systems like the Toro Link Central Control System, Toro gives you the ability to dial in water exactly where you need it, whether you're managing greens, fairways, or rough. From real-time monitoring to quick adjustments during changing weather, Lynx helps you stay ahead of the conditions and keeps surfaces consistent for golfers. At the end of the day, it's about healthier turf, smarter water use, and more control from your office or your phone. To learn more about Toro Irrigation Solutions, visit toro.com or talk with your local Toro distributor. Toro, count on it.
I
That
love
time
it.
is
How you
coming.
holding up?
Things are good. We have so much snow. It's like it's shitting snow outside right now. It's just wild.
Is it again?
Yeah, we're right in it. So I've been
Oh
working on,
man.
tee blocks and cups and inventory for accessories and just prepping everything to get ready to go out on the course whenever everything decides to melt. So just getting through it. Today I took the morning off because here in Canada we have a rush process to be able to get, or like a rush to the line, I guess, to get to your passport renewed. So they say
Oh,
you can sign in, but you got to sign in by like 7:30 in the morning to get a spot to be able to renew your passport. And then it's a good hour process to go through everything, get it all entered, At the end, you got to put your references in. So I had already asked a couple buddies, one of my cousins, to put a reference in, and they're all good with it. So I go to put my cousin in, and it says, yeah, you can check off all the boxes: friend, colleague, I don't know, whatever, teacher, mentor. Like there's all these different things you can check off. There's no cousin. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I go into the list of things or people you can't use, right? And there's nothing about cousin. There's parents and siblings in law and all these different things you can't use, but cousin wasn't on there. So I figured, well, I guess in the eyes of the government, we're just friends. So I put
Yeah.
it through as friends and I sent him the screenshot and I was like, sorry, bud, like we're friends now. Like this is where we're at kind of thing. And he just writes back. He's like, ooh, friend zoned. I was like, yeah, well, I guess at this point now we can date those. So we're not cousins anymore. He's like, what a loophole. So
That's
we're
great.
having fun over here.
That's awesome. Man, this sounds like a heck of a process.
Yeah, yeah, they're trying to make sure everybody's legal. I mean, I've had the same information my whole life here, living here in Canada, so it should be a pretty simple process, but just got to go through it and they want your money too. You got to pay for it, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And away we
Oh
go.
yeah.
So
Nothing's free.
should be good for the next 10 years.
Is that
Hopefully.
how long they're good for? Good.
Yeah, it's funny. You can do a 5 year for a buck 20, or you can do a 10 year for a buck 60. So you're looking at it like, well, why would you
Yeah.
put yourself through this? Another
Yeah.
5 years for another 40 bucks. Like,
No,
what are you
yeah.
doing?
That's a no-brainer right
So,
there.
yeah, it's a quick one.
I think I need to renew mine here in the next year or two.
Uh-oh,
Yeah.
coming up. There he is. Derek, how's it going?
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Can hear you.
Loud and
Yeah.
clear.
The iPhone is always the way to go with this, with the headphones. It's always so smooth.
Yeah, I can't rely on this Wi-Fi though. So if there's any connection issues, we're in the dungeon above the admin building, and that's where the Wi-Fi is.
Okay. Get yourself parked in that one little spot that works.
Yeah, well, my office is not really set up for this, but all the fun stuff is on the other walls.
Oh,
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. The good news is you can just pick your phone up and spin it around and show us all the good stuff in the
Yeah,
room
right
if
on.
you really want to. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. Awesome. Appreciate you taking the time to jump on here, Derek.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, we always like to just kind of start things off and let you take a moment to introduce yourself. So tell us who you are.
Derek Williams. I'm the superintendent at Riverbend Club in Great Falls, Virginia. This is the start of my fourth season, about 3 months into the fourth season. I work for Luke Fisher, the director of agronomy, and man, I love this track. Fifth track I worked at, and it's some first private club. So different vibe, but I'm digging it.
awesome. Well, we've chatted a bunch online and very fortunate to get you today to get to talk about you, your story and everything. So dig into it a little bit for us. Tell us, about your upbringing, what you got into, and then eventually how it led you into working at the golf course.
Born in North Carolina. I lived in 5 states before I graduated high school. Bounced all over. Both parents were in the Marine Corps. Joined the military. First day of basic was 3 weeks after 9/11. 14, almost 15 years later, I took a medical retirement. 2012, was my 5th combat deployment. I did 4 to Iraq, the last one Afghanistan. I was wounded. So they basically gave me the option to reclassify to something else or take early medical retirement. I did that. Never was into golf growing up. I mean, the most I knew about golf was Tiger. I mean, I think the whole world did. Played everything but golf. And then when I got back to the States and after spending some time in the hospitals and surgeries, the guy that I actually was covering in a firefight that I was wounded in got me into the game of golf. And I just became obsessed. It was like a rehabilitative tool for me. And so like the last 3 years I was in the military, I was basically going surgery, recovery, play a little golf, surgery, recovery, play a little golf, and then finally hung it up. And my first gig when I retired was the closest 18-hole course down the street, and they were hiring for a second assistant. And I had never had a golf job at all. And there's a small 6-person crew, Capital City Golf Club in Olympia, Washington. Shout out to my first boss, taught me a lot, Don Firestone. 6-person crew, you're kind of forced to learn everything, tee to green. So I was basically doing everything but spraying, so that really helped me out. And then I bounced around without getting too personal. first few years separating my transition from the military to the civilian world. Also, I'd throw a divorce in there, family moving around, and so. But golf kind of kept me like grounded, if that makes sense. Even if everything on the outside was kind of jumbled at the time, golf helped me with my transition. With my mental health and keeping me outside, giving me something to do, and I just so happened to really enjoy it. And then so I bounced between a few courses. Like the first 5 years I was in the industry, I worked at three different courses in Washington: Chambers Bay, home course, and Capital City. After that, I moved. The relationship I was in at the time no longer ended up in Arizona, Longbow Golf Club in Mesa. And then 2023, I moved out here to be closer to my kids and found the job here at Riverbend. My kids live in DC. Well, one does. My oldest is a freshman at UConn this year.
Oh, nice. Talk about the transition from the military into the civilian life and, some of the struggles, especially, being wounded in action, obviously throwing an additional wrinkle in there, but just talk about some of the challenges of, I guess, reacclimating to civilian life.
I mean, there's a lot of programs that the military or the Army specifically gives you as you're transitioning out. They prepare you. You go to some classes. I was going to a lot of counseling, group therapy, that kind of stuff. It really was helpful. But I feel like even if you're in for 3 or 4 years stint, it's very regimented and structured, and it's their way. And you always have a boss to answer. I mean, that's like that anywhere, I guess, in the civilian world. But it's just so different. I mean, no matter what, however many years, it's different and it's a transition. And then, my career, 14 years, 41 months of that were combat. So it was like a lot of just go, 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 where you kind of have to slow yourself down. Don't take things so seriously. But also a lot of that mentality, I really think transfers over into this industry, like veterans working in golf. I know there's great programs out there, specifically like PJ Hope, our director of golf, Andrew Bond, is actually hosting that program at our club here in April. I think it's
Nice.
6 or 8 weeks program, so I'm going to be a participant in that. That should be really cool. And I think it'll be a little bit helpful to like the guys that are attending it. They see that, hey, this might be a transition for you and for yourselves, because I just started golf to get outside and whack the ball, and it ended up being a job. So don't have a traditional background. I dabbled in online degree, Penn State, and then transition with moving, and then I took assistant job. It was honestly, it was a lot, and then I just have I like to say that my degree has been Greg Kavalik at Longbow, Don Firestone at Olympia, Mark Trenner at Chambers Bay, Dennis Soroki at the home course, and the best on the job training from the best guys that you could learn from. And I think you should always thank the people that got you where you are. I mean, because I don't have that traditional on paper what guys may necessarily be looking for, but I feel like a lot of like leadership and discipline, attention to detail, work outside mentality really transfers over military to this industry.
That's awesome, dude. There's so many wonderful things there that we can unpack and talk about there. So I just wanted to go back because I'm very interested about your career. You talk about 14 years in the Army and then having to leave, unfortunately. And that's just one of those things. It could have been a lot longer career, but 14 years is pretty solid, man. If you're a pro athlete or something like that, 14 years, nothing to shake a
Yeah.
big stick at. So I just want to know about that journey. Tell us a little bit about some of the stuff you loved about the Army, some of the challenges you had, some of the things that made you grow as a person.
14 years with the plan. I had the plan of doing 20, until, full retirement. I retired as a sergeant first class, which is a E7. And it was 9 enlisted ranks. And my goal was to be a sergeant major, one day. I wanted to have like a battalion. That was like the goal. I think that's a lot of the goals for young leaders and junior leaders in the Army. They see, because a senior leader that they looked up to, that they want to be that guy someday. I was field artillery, so Shot big bullets downrange. The
You got all the fun
first,
toys,
Yeah,
huh?
you get the big
yeah,
ones.
yeah. The first 7 years I was in the Army, I was in the 101st Airborne Division, and that's where I did the Iraq deployments. And then I was a drill instructor or drill sergeant for 2 years, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And then that was my dwell time between all those deployments was the 16-hour drill sergeant days. And then I went to Second Infantry Division, which is Fort Lewis, Washington, or now Joint Base Lewis McChord, and that's where I was wounded and I transitioned, retired from the Army. And I mean, moving all around and all the leaders and all the just the friends and people I've met, it's the laundry list of what I learned from it. I couldn't. It's just ball it up into meeting people from all walks of life, from all over the world, literally, learning how to be a team collectively, get a goal. So many things. I know that my crew sometimes gets tired of me referencing some military things that transfers over, but when they see it, they see it. Like it's like, and turf, your mistakes are seen like that sometimes, or immediately, and your rewards are like 3 months of hard work, and you finally like right before member, you're like, oh yeah. But and that's like that in the military. Your mistakes can be seen immediately, but you have to work hard for a long period of time to achieve a certain goal. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. And you mentioned it earlier too, just the transferable skills. Talk about dive deeper into some of those transferable skills. And the thing that you mentioned was being the drill instructor. So leading people, and then stepping into this role, and ultimately getting to where you are now. I've got to imagine that experience of leading teams has just done wonders for you in making it a little easier to step into this role of managing a crew.
For sure. It's much different. There's a lot of rules, and you go through all those classes, HR classes in the military, but you don't like have you got to be, it's just, it's a lot of the shop banter is the same, and the camaraderie is very similar, but it's different. I think the transferable thing is you have to remember you're leading people, and it's not just you go mow greens, tell them why you're mowing it. Like, why are we doing it in this direction for different from this day? If it's a rookie, he has no idea. He's just me, Mo. I don't like that. I like to, hey, why do we rake the bunkers this way? Why are we spraying this chemical today? I mean, not just act like they're a pawn on to get your job done and treat them like people. That's a lot more relevant in this now. And but I also think the good leaders in the military, the good ones in the military are the ones that did that. They just didn't treat them like a number in their squad. It's family. Another similar thing is all walks of life. People in the military, you could have a squad of 20 people or 10, 12 people, a platoon of 40 from everywhere. I mean, my crew, we have 23 full time. We just do full time. We have full time year round, which is really nice. And I mean, we got El Salvadorian, Bolivia, Mexico, US. I mean, right there, all walks of life. I mean,
Yeah.
different dialects, different this, everything. Everyone has a way of doing things, but ultimately we all have the same goal in mind, presenting the best conditions for the members.
Yeah. I kind of curious. Everyone thinks of drill instructor. Is it like the movies? Are you up in people's faces just yelling and screaming at them?
I mean, I was a drill sergeant from 2009 to 2011. And I feel like it's like comparable when you talk about is LeBron or Jordan better? It's different generations, different mindsets, as in, even when I was a drill sergeant, we were talking about, you have no idea, privates, how we got treated 12 years ago by our drill sergeants. And our drill sergeants told us the same thing. And I can tell you now, they might be a little bit softer than we used to be, but that like is a transitional thing. But yeah, there is a very much like yelling and the funny quote, it's a movie, but it kind of transitioned. I mean, and you're not there to, as a drill instructor, you're not there to be their friend. You're just there to be their drill instructor. So that sometimes the more they hate you, the more they will learn is very much works. That does not work on a golf course at all.
Yeah.
It's like Miracle on Ice where he wanted the entire team to
No.
hate him or something. Isn't that what it was? That's
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for listening to the Turf Today podcast. My name is Michael with Steiner Golf Company, and we know that spring isn't just a season. It is go time. It is time to get your course dialed in, ready for everything the season has to bring. Whether that's early tee times, member play, public play, outings, and tournaments, that is where Steiner Golf comes in. We are here to help with everything you need to get your course looking the best this upcoming year. From brand new flags, flag sticks, tee markers, bunker rakes, cups, hole cutters, and everything in between. Because when the golfers show up, first impressions always matter. So this spring, open your course and set the standard for some awesome accessories. Now back to Turf Today.
when you were probably going through it, it was probably a lot more yelling and screaming and in your face and some of that stuff. Do you think a lot of that is to build stress tolerance into
For sure. Bring it, bring them down to bring them back up, in a positive way. Maybe the levels of stress or the intensity. Even I had to do it in 2 years. I was a drill. The first year at Fort Sill, there was only male recruits. And then so the second year they transitioned, they brought females into Fort Sill. That's a whole different ball game. When you get 230 sold or recruits every 8 weeks, you graduate them on a Friday, you get a couple days off, and you pick up 230 more on Tuesday for 8 more weeks. And then this group, this next 230 of those 230, like 120 are women. You got to approach it differently. I mean, it's just the facts.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. And I'm not talking about like the same level of standards. I'm not talking about altering standards at all, but just the way you talk to people. It just becomes a person thing, the way you treat people.
Yeah. And that's going to be different with all 230, 240 of those people anyways, too, right? I mean,
Sure.
Doesn't matter, male, female, whatever it is, everyone's going to respond differently to different things. And I mean, you've already kind of touched upon that with a crew of 20 some people. That's great experience for you to be able to understand how to motivate individuals within a larger group. So that's
For sure.
That's awesome experience.
That is
Yeah,
big.
I think we have our cliques. I think it's natural, like everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like we have our squads. But that's just natural human instinct. That's going to happen anywhere you go. So you got to approach those groups, a little bit differently. Everyone gets the same talk in the morning meeting, but when you maybe talk to them individually, that's definitely when you talk to them as an individual.
So you talked about working hard towards a success, and that is very, very common here in our industry, as you know. But back in the Army, I'd love to hear one of your favorite stories about, you and your team going through something where you had to work a long time and very hard to get somewhere, get something done.
Every patrol or mission that you go on and everyone comes back safe is a really good one. You feel like you accomplished something. When I was in, believe it or not many of us, at least when I was serving, and I'm just speaking for myself, but I think a lot of us were like-minded. We weren't concerned about left, right, what was going on. We had a war and we were just following orders of where our commander and their commander and their commander and their commander told us to do and execute. So it's tough. I feel like it's all, again, comprised into one just big positive experience of just meeting all the people, the small talk, the learning about their families and their kids. And I feel like the happiest memories are just the relationships that were built. A lot of the really funny ones in the military cannot be shared.
No.
It's the same on the golf course, though,
fair
too.
enough.
The funny stuff
Sure.
on the golf course usually can't be shared either.
No, absolutely. For sure.
So-
I've seen. I think everyone has their wall of shame, broken equipment.
Oh, yeah.
I think I won't name drop, but within the first week of a very first golf course job, there was an older gentleman that probably should have been retired, and I just hear this loud bang, and it's dark. this was like my first week of doing like tea setup or something. I just hear this loud crash, and I look over, and wasn't paying attention and just cart right into the tree. It wasn't good.
No.
And then that's when I quickly learned on the civilian side of, we don't do workers comp in the military, you know? So that
Yeah.
when this guy tried to like bring it up like it was like a workers comp thing, like, hey dude, you weren't paying attention, you were on your freaking cell phone and you smashed into that tree.
Yeah, you were expecting the tree to move. It wasn't getting out of the way.
I mean, so there's funny stuff like that, but
Was that his
I
last
mean
day?
that happens all the time. Nah, I'm not sure. I can't remember. It wasn't long after that, I know.
Yeah. Fortunately, we've
You
all worked with
mentioned,
one of those guys.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I think every crew. Yeah, every crew.
that's you talked earlier about wanting to explain the why behind why you're doing XYZ and kind of get into the details of the reason behind it. Where did you kind of learn that from? Is that something you've always had, or have you always, or did you learn somewhere of the need and the benefit of explaining the reasoning behind it to people?
I think it's educational at the same time. The more someone hears something, even if they already know why they're mowing in that direction that day, it's just like re-emphasizing. I like the repetitive nature of hearing it over and over. And also for like being an instructor of something, the more you teach something or say it out loud to someone, it's a way of you kind of retaining it because you know, I'm not out there walking on greens. I'm not. I got a lot of other things to worry about, and I have plenty of guys to do that or people to do that. I say people because my two best walk mowers are women, so I gotta shout them out for sure.
Yeah.
Their
Mhm.
attention to detail is something to talk about. Mother and
Yep.
daughter,
Oh, nice.
awesome,
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
That's great.
Yeah,
Family business.
Yeah.
for sure.
So going the other way, after everything you've been through, how do you personally define a bad day on the golf course?
It's not a bad day, but like 10 minutes after you settle into the couch and you get called because you got to go turn off a valve because the irrigation is running.
Yeah.
That happened yesterday. I don't mind doing it. I actually live close for that reason. I prefer to live close to the course, to the property. I like being that QRF, quick reactionary force. And I like being the guy, you know. But sometimes that's like, really? But you have to do it. Or who likes when equipment breaks down 30 minutes before closing time? No one hates that more than a mechanic, but no superintendent enjoys that either. It's not a bad day though, still. I mean, I've never had a bad day playing golf. I'm one of those guys that I just never have got angry on the golf course. I get great entertainment of those guys that do get angry because
Oh yeah.
I find it just hilarious. I wish that I have a picture on my phone. Longbow Golf Club. I was doing course setup one day and I get to the 18th hole and the trash can right beside the tee box was a whole bag with every single club
Nice.
broken in half in there. And I was just like, it was gold post. I was like, yeah, someone that did not have a good day.
Oh man.
And I had some crew guys like snagging the clubs, trying to like get the good shafts or the good grips that were still to make
Is that Scotty?
Whatever. It's all yours.
Oh.
That was fun.
That's nuts.
We are back with another Ask the Agronomist segment featuring PhD agronomist Tony Goldsby from the Andersons. Our question today comes in from Nathan Holloman. Why is the Andersons the best choice for my quality turf grass?
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Adam, for having me on the show this week. And thanks again for all the great end user submissions. We always get this one from Nathan this week. And, what a great question. And at the Andersons, pretty much everything we center on really is around delivering consistent results for professional turfgrass managers like yourself. And that really comes down to kind of a tagline we've had and really three core tenets or principles that we have as a company, and that's quality, service, and technology. So, starting with the quality standpoint, obviously we control all of our raw material inputs in our manufacturing process, which, allows us to produce extremely uniform, predictable nutrient products, that give you, minimal segregation in the bag, which is you want, and obviously reliable performance that, turf managers can get time and time again. And we have some really unique technologies, right? So on that second part, our product, like our dispersing granule, allows those nutrients to be, put up into a form where you can put them out as a granule, and then as soon as water touches them, they break down into thousands of microparticles, right? And it was really important for a lot of those, whether it be fertility or active ingredients, to get broken down and get into the plant canopy as quickly as possible. And then that prevents anything like a mower or something like that from coming and picking them up when you're out there mowing later. So that's kind of the first two pieces. And like I said, the last one really around that service piece. And again, our team prides themselves on working directly with, whether it be our distributor partners out there, superintendents and lawn care operators direct, and really trying to help you guys solve problems and not just sell products, right? Find solutions for making your job easier, and what you do every single day. So when you combine all those premium formulations, proven technology, and strong, obviously, customer support, I think that's kind of the trifecta that makes Anderson's a trusted partner for high quality turf managers.
Yeah, that is a great answer, trusted by a lot of people and all over the world, which is huge. We have a great follow-up question to this question on next week's episode, so we will get into that next week. This wraps up another Ask the Agronomist segment featuring Dr. Tony Goldsby from the Andersons.
Again, you kind of went into it, and it was a nice escape. Golf was a nice escape of peaceful setting, all that. But what was it really about golf course maintenance that hooked you?
I think it's got to be being outside. It's got to be being the fresh air. I mean, in the military, you spend most of your time outdoors. As you move up in the military, you kind of, a lot of people say their best job is like the squad or platoon level because they're really in it with their guys. But as you move up, you spend more time doing paperwork in the office, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that goes with this too. Some people have asked me, why you put all that stuff in your office when I'm never in here, to this will be the longest consecutive time I've been in my office all week. I mean,
yeah,
be
that
30,
tracks.
quick in the morning, basically. But being outside, just the fresh air. I got spoiled at almost every place that I worked at. It's been absolutely beautiful. And then now I'm back home, Virginia, originally where my family is from. I mean, this is a beautiful area, Northern Virginia, just south of Potomac River, about 15 miles due west to DC.
It's a hot spot right there, man. So you guys are transition zone. Talk about the joys of managing turf and transition zone.
During my interview, my boss Luke Fisher, he was telling me about working in the Mid Atlantic, and coming from the Pacific Northwest, where I kind of joked, responded like, yeah, I mean, it rains all the damn time. If you can't keep green there, something's going wrong. And then in Arizona, it's like, if you can't keep Bermuda nice in Arizona, you're also doing something wrong. I mean, but here we had the biggest weather change. I think it was last week. We went from 86 degrees, and it was the highest recorded day in history, not just like in the last 30 years. And we had frost delay the next morning.
What is that?
86
talk about some
degrees,
confused grass.
frost delay the next morning. Yeah, I know. So it's real. The transition zone is real, but I feel like it sharpens you up. You got to just learn how to react. Second season here, we had no rain all summer. I mean, it wasn't just us. Everyone was bone dry. I mean, we had no way to get water. We had to get a trailer to pump water from one of our ponds over because everything was so low. I mean, you get scary because, I mean, it's like that's it's kind of like you're a chef. You present a meal, someone, if you got enough bad reviews, you're gonna lose your gig. You know what I mean? And it's my job to present a good product. And that summer was a little bit scary for sure, but it all bounced back. I mean, we're money right now.
Yeah.
Despite all this up and down weather, I mean, we're really kicking today. I think it's like 56 with a high of 70 today. Really popping.
Beautiful. What are you guys working with? Are you guys cool season?
We bent grass. We got 007 bent grass. We just transitioned that's for green, tees, fairways, and we got bluegrass intermediate, turf type tall, fescue rough, fine fescue native. And then we just converted our GPF, our golf prac facility, to all Bermuda game area and tees. And we tested out just last season one tee, one of our par threes, number three. Tested that out with Bermuda. Just we'll see how it really goes. This
Yeah.
true test was everything. This was the true hard winter, and everything was tarped and prepared, and we sprayed, prepared for everything, tarped it up, and the tarp's been off not that long. So now it'll be the upcoming weeks be the true test to see where what that transition. I mean, it's gonna be popping.
Doing the short game area and the 1T, Bermuda, is that kind of a test run then to see if you guys want to go and do tees or fairways or something like that in Bermuda as well?
That was the talk. Is the talk.
Yeah.
About fairways, tees on the golf course. I obviously I hear all about that, and that's communicated to me. But superintendent, but there is a director of agronomy, so there is. I love it. I joke with Luke that although I love interacting with members and stuff, I'm very much like I got the blinders on and I'm just like focused. And although I love the chit chat, I just want to get after it. But I mean, as the director of agronomy, that is part of the gig. Luke has been here for 20 plus years. He knows every blade of grass, all the members. And I love that buffer zone, to be honest with you. He's perfect. The guy is awesome personality. Everyone loves him. So when they talk about that, I don't want to speak for what the membership is having behind in their meetings. It's their meetings.
Yeah.
They'll
tell you if they want to transition to something, they'll let you know.
And we'll do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to have my opinion on that. That's kind of like to be honest, like it's the military. I just follow the orders from the top, chain of command. They want to go to Bermuda, we'll go to Bermuda, and we'll prepare and get it ready and take care of it the best we can. I remember very specifically that Luke, because Luke is we're the same age, and which I really like. But in my interview, he specifically said that don't feel, always bring stuff up, blah, blah, blah. Because he acknowledged I don't have the turf experience nearly as him. Not even, I don't sniff at that. But my leadership and past experience, he acknowledged that. And he was receptive of, hey, I could learn from that too. So don't be afraid to talk about that stuff. So absolutely, we crosstalk. But for the most part, it's a well-oiled machine here. And I haven't changed anything. I've just kind of regimented some things, organization, implemented like the task tracker board, a bunch of stuff like that, because I can't, it's just my brain. I can't not have a plan on paper, talk about it, or I can't not execute without doing all that. I need to talk about it. I need to have a plan before I just go. Although I understand in this industry, that's very much how you have a plan. It's going to be money. And an hour into that plan, one thing happens, everything's blown up. And you got to audible like 7 different things, And also, again, learn that in the military. So another thing that kind of transfers over.
So Derek, I wanted to ask you, we have a lot of people that listen to the show who are younger or going through school, have the same kind of dream as you, as becoming superintendent. Any advice that you'd have for somebody who's going to go through that process soon?
Be yourself. Always be yourself, no matter what. The person you're interviewing with more than likely can see through if you're not being yourself. And I guess maybe not the interview part, pushing back a bit, whether you're a second assistant, trying to move up, do everything. Be that, not a suck up, but be the yes man. You want to do every single job, every single task out on the golf course. You want to know everything from tee to green. Everything from tee to green. Ask questions you don't know the answers to. People are, I feel like, shy about that. If you don't know, ask someone that you know that knows. So soak in all the knowledge you can, whether it's from the crew that works for you, your peers, your boss. And I feel like work ethic is everything. Be the person in the front, leading from the front. And I feel like if you're already that person doing that and you sit down for an interview, it should take care of itself, rather than just experience and have an awesome resume is awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we look for that when we have an assistant job posted, or internships in the summer or whatever. People look at that, and you care about it. But also, if all that paper doesn't equate to what you do out on the golf course or your facility, and with your crew, it means nothing.
Yep. That's really good advice. And I think we've heard that from a few others. I mean, the authenticity goes a long way, and then just master the things that take zero talent, right? You show up on time, you work hard, you give it your best. That's just takes zero talent to do that. I try to tell my kids that all the time. It goes in one ear and out the other. But
And this industry is so tight too, so your reputation does follow you very quickly.
Yeah.
10 things that require zero talent: being on time, making an effort, being high energy, having a positive attitude, being passionate, using good body language, being coachable, doing a little extra, being prepared, having a strong work ethic. It's right there on the wall.
I was going to say, memorize that. That's pretty good.
No, I did not. I mememorized a lot of things, but no, my memory is shot.
Long plane rides.
Getting old.
I got to know the story behind the Riverbend Club logo, because we've had some good logos lately, but a fox with a trench coat.
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up, Brian.
Yeah, I've got to.
I love logos.
So currently, Mid-Atlantic PGA, their Instagram, to go along with March Madness, they do a 64 logo challenge. We are currently the defending champs from last year. For all 64. Yes. So club was founded in 1961, and the whole logo, the fox with the trench coat, is because a bunch of the founding members were part of the CIA.
I was wondering if there was something there.
And we're right down the road from Langley, where the CIA headquarters is. So it's not the original logo. I believe it was the logo when I got here. I think it's the fourth logo, but during the redesign, they did the logo. And actually, Lee Wabransky, the golf artist, is the one that did the fox.
Ah, nice. Nice.
So that's the whole fox with the trench coat, CIA.
I love it.
I think it's sick. I mean, and also because when they were doing the renovation, there was quite a few fox dens. I mean, they're prominent animals in this area. We see them. My dog chases them every morning. Oh yeah, I got to shout out my dog. She was November 2025 turf dog calendar.
Oh man,
her name's Birdie.
She's popular.
Yeah, she's probably in the break room bumming lunch food from the guys right now. I didn't keep her in the office.
I love it. So when was the renovation? Did you guys just go through that recently?
Oh, no, that was 2011. That was Keith Foster renovation with McDonald's and Son, the construction company. That was way before me. I mean, I was a drill sergeant at the time.
Gotcha.
Before we go any further, here is some key career advice from Tyler Bloom.
It's hard to be yourself sometimes because you're trying to win the job, right? And I find that in every one of these searches, the person that typically stands out is the person who's just genuinely themselves from start to finish. And the things that I hear about that candidate from a reference or off the record is typically consistent with what I hear in a phone call, a Zoom interview, all the way through the process. So you can't be somebody you're not. You need to just be who you are and be the best version of that. And don't be afraid to tell that story, right? And if it's not the right fit for you, typically that, it works both ways. You're interviewing the club as much as they're interviewing you. So, I mean, that seems to be a differentiator. And I think, sounds probably cliche or very basic, but I see now as a process unfolds, the person that's got the right exposure and they've got the right confidence, it just comes out that they're the expert. Because of their exposure, because of their experience.
If you want to learn more or reach out to work with Tyler Bloom and his amazing team, go to bloomgolfpartners.com.
The place looks sick, man. Talk about some of just the general challenges that you guys face, aside from obviously the craziness of the Mid-Atlantic.
I mean, I think that would be the challenges. I mean, other than that, we have everything pretty dialed in. We're doing a lot. Not renovations, but small changes that are in accordance with the architect Keith Foster that did the renovation, like the plan for thinning out some trees. We did a walkthrough not that long back, and he kind of emphasized if you're standing in the middle of the property, like the beauty or the money shot of a course is that outer perimeter. That's what really brings the property in. But when you have these tall pines or you know silver maples in between fairways that are kind of like cutting off views, when the beauty of the course is the whole property, it kind of as one, because
Yeah.
the elevation change doesn't, and the undulations, the pictures don't really do it justice. I mean, some of them you really have to club up or club down, like say 18-1 or whatever. But there's some long holes for sure. I think it's absolutely beautiful track. I fell in love with it. I actually had two other interviews the same day as Riverbend, and I just happened to come to this one first, and I got hired on the spot. And um, the other one was I had an assistant interview lined up for congressional and one at Army Navy Country Club. But the job listing here was assistant superintendent. When I signed my contract, I was the superintendent of the golf course because they restructured and made Luke from super to the director of agronomy. So very fortunate for that.
Wow. Did you just not go to the next two interviews then?
I did not. I contacted
No.
them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. That's good.
I
That's good.
contacted them, but I'm like, yeah. But it all worked out. I mean, I'm glad I'm where I'm at.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And you said you're all full-time staff. I mean, is
Mhm.
there a big benefit for you guys there in having the same people and not having to train, new people every summer that are coming in and out for those, seasonal employees?
I mean, absolutely. I have a few on the crew that have been over 20 years, and yeah, they know what's going on. But they also can get complacent, so I have to watch out. And I kind of have to be like, hey, I know but tighten it up a bit or whatever. But no, for the most part, everyone they know their job
Yeah.
very well, very, very
That's
well. The crew is well rounded. We stay busy during the winter, despite it being frozen. I think we're doing the same similar things, that anyone else is doing during the winter, and trees, construction, sod projects, all the inside, all the inside jobs. I think everyone's doing the same stuff
yeah.
almost.
You brought up a really good point there, the complacency, and you do see that from time to time, and especially, in the heat of the summer, it's just might get some people just mailing it in. How do you combat that mindset or that complacency with folks?
When I try to pitch it to whether it's whatever the case is, I try to pitch. There's always a better way, and it's not my way, but I'm against kind of the vibe of, well, that's how we've always done it. Well, how long ago did you start doing that? Like 12 years ago? You don't think that like someone might have come up with a better way to do it in the last like 12 years somewhere? I've worked at quite a few properties, and I have to bring them up. It'd be terrible if I didn't. In that little stint of 5 years, I did 2 years of almost 2 years, just shy of golf course construction, with Ridgetop Golf. So was a part of like rebuilding golf courses in Oregon, Washington, Idaho. It was really awesome. It was over 10 properties, I think I got to work on construction jobs, some being like anything from like fixing a T-Mox or remodeling their bunkers, or even a complete 18-hole tee to green remodel where you're there and going to that course. That was Sandpoint Country Club in Seattle. Shout out to Marcus, superintendent there. But I mean, learned so much from Kip and Casey and Josh and Jaron. It was a super small crew, like 5 people. But let me tell you, you see what those guys can do with an excavator. And all that. I learned so much, and it was so much fun. The only reason I got out of that was just like traveling, like being away from family. That was kind of tough. It wasn't really ideal. So, and I really thought that I was done with the turf side, and I was like, oh, I'll do this forever. I'll play on an excavator or just I'll just haul dirt all day long.
You
Like
you got a thing for all
it
those
was
cool
awesome.
toys. It
Oh
sounds like
yeah.
the big
Oh
guns,
yeah,
the
for sure.
excavators. Like, man,
Yeah, yeah. That's the fun stuff. I mean,
yeah.
big boy toys. That's what
That's funny.
I like to call it. Yeah, but
I wanted to ask you, you said you fell in love with the golf course, which is huge, right? That's huge for anybody who was going to be taking over a property. But you're also spending a lot of time doing a little bit of golf therapy. So would you say that now you get your fix with golf course maintenance, or do you still need to get out there and swing the sticks?
I don't nearly as much as I used to. I got addicted. The guy that got me into it, he was like, "Hey, there's this like veteran organization that you it's a bunch of veterans in a tournament. I never played in a golf tournament in my life, and I go out there and won it. Now, mind you,
Good
I'm
boy.
not bragging about
Is
my
this a net?
being
Is
a
this a
good
net
golfer.
tournament?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, thank
okay,
you.
okay.
I was in the bottom flight of handicappers. So, and then I was also mixed in with other wounded veterans. So, real handicaps out there.
Good
You know,
field.
Yeah, yeah.
when people ask my handicap, I say gunshot wound, right forearm. You don't need to know that you don't need to know that
Oh,
I'm not a single.
strokes.
I mean, I'm not. I just like to get out there and have fun. I don't nearly as much anymore, but
It's probably
I
because you got a
probably.
bad reputation after that first tournament. Everyone's calling
Maybe.
you a
Oh no, no,
sandbagger after you go
absolutely
out
Yeah.
not.
there. No,
No, no, no. I think I shot like a 91. Nothing to brag about.
that's not bad for a
Hey,
first
yeah.
tournament.
Yeah.
Sure,
Take
sure,
it
sure.
under
But
pressure.
now I could probably not even sniff that. I haven't swung clubs. I played two or three times in the last couple calendar years. Just so busy and
Ugh,
first position as a superintendent. I really want to make a good prep. Like my focus is this. Although I am implementing a couple weeks ago when we had good weather, I'm gonna start on maintenance Mondays. Like after the crew's done, I'm gonna start going out and getting that bird's eye view, see what the players and members are seeing. I need to do that more, and it's just fun to get out there and swing them.
you've at least got a wedge and putter in your cart, right?
Oh yeah, oh, of
Okay.
course. My friends, I'm sure you've seen the memes of what your boss thinks you do, what your friends think you do, blah blah blah. All my friends, I'm like the meme guy on golf because maybe they don't have that many other people that they go. So I get them all, and they maybe assume I'm good at golf, and I'm like, no, I there's no excuse that I should be decent because I have a great practice facility right here that I can
Yeah,
free of charge play anytime I want. In a top
yeah,
tier golf course, I can play almost anytime. But no, I don't get out there often enough.
yeah. I had that conversation. I've got some contractors in the house doing some work, and they peeked into my office and saw my golf stuff. Like, oh, you must be really good. I'm like, no, you don't get into the golf industry to play golf. Like that's my
No.
golf game has gotten worse since I got into the industry, but that's
Mhm.
okay. Well, this has been absolutely fantastic, Derek. We always like to leave the last couple minutes of the show to kind of let you talk about anything you want to talk about.
Yes, it has been great. Appreciate it. I guess to emphasize I feel like maybe I'm missing them, and this is my opportunity to ask if there's something I don't know about. But there's so many golf veteran things, but it's like instructing or showing veterans the game of golf and enjoying it and playing it, not necessarily maybe as a career, like a full on like a career. Good. I wish there was some kind of board for that. I would love to be a part of or start or whatever because I feel like there's so much value and it would solve job issues. I mean, how hard is it to find good help or good work or even find anybody to just work and just take the job? Because low man on the totem pole is not the greatest. It's not going to be the greatest pay, and you're out there working outside in the elements all day. You gotta kind of have to like it. There's a scarcity of veteran jobs, vets that need jobs. Well, they're going to follow instructions, and they've been outside all their life. For the most part, they're not in terrible shape unless they really let it go. Look for them. There's websites out there where I know everyone's got GCSA and Turf Today and TurfNet and probably five other golf job listing posting. But there are websites out there that you just Google it, where you can list your job, your golf job on a website where it's veteran friendly, where veterans go on that website and they look up companies that are specifically hiring or looking for veterans. And it's an option to those that are looking for people. I think it would be great. And also what I was saying about golf, another thing just to close out, not in a negative way or whatever, but with the military, and I see it in this industry as well, there's a stigma. Golf is my rehabilitative tool, and so there's never a bad day at work. Um, but if you do have one, talk to somebody. Everybody out there, mental health, it's not it shouldn't be a negative stigma. Go talk to somebody. It's a real thing. You know, in this industry, I've seen it. It's everywhere in the world. But just go talk to somebody. Yeah, as stressful and demanding as this job can be, I'm sure for everyone out there, you know, I got 18 holes. Like, gosh, guys are out there, you know, 36, 3 courses, managing 3, 4 courses. What, man, goodness, stressful. So if you need help, go get it. And I know that's kind of a negative way, or maybe not negative, but I think it's not talked about enough.
Very well said. And I love the idea of trying to get more veterans into our industry. It would be perfect, just like you're talking about men and women who are used to working outside, like being physical, like being part of a team, have a common goal. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, right on. Appreciate that.
Yeah, John Riley's a part of a program, and I just sent him a text. I'll follow up with you, but there is a program where it's tailored towards individuals that are transitioning out of the military. So if they have, I think maybe 1 year left, they work with them to find some sort of career path for them, and they go and work for, part of the time to kind of get a feel for what they want to do when they fully get out. I'll have to get the name of that. I'll send it over to you, Derek, and
that'd be great.
See if there's a connection
if you don't know,
that can be
ask.
made.
Mm-hmm.
I've done the research, and I never came across that myself. So
yeah, there's
whatever.
I can't remember what it's called, but a phenomenal program. Obviously, I mean, it's a no-brainer to give people, open their eyes to other opportunities that are out there. And if it's like a part-time thing where they're working for you for 6 months and they love it, then all of a sudden you got another intern or something or an apprentice basically that can come in and you can teach the trade to. So
I think a first
awesome.
screen, like a first screen for grown adults.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Hey, you might be, maybe you're interested, maybe you're not.
Yeah. No, that's it. So I'll get that over to you when John gets back to me here.
Cool.
Well, this has been awesome, brother. And thank you so much for all of your time today.
All right, cool. Appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys, like this platform and whatever. We need it. You know what I mean? I feel like just y'all post job listings, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. See, there's another platform. Like, our industry is small, but it's big. But we also all have to be like helping one another out. So we're like all one giant turf crew.
That's right.
Essentially, trying to
it's one big course.
You know what I mean? It really is. I mean,
it's a big industry, but a tight community.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's it. So, Derek, this has been an absolute pleasure. Appreciate all your time and help or sharing your story. And I think this is going to be a really popular one. So appreciate everything.
Right on, guys. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Take care, brother.
All right. We'll see you, Derek.
Later.
Take care, man.
I don't know how to turn this shit off.
Nice.
Big red button. You're not alone. That's what we always sit there and wait to see how the exit goes. So it's always entertaining.
Yeah. One guy almost broke his leg standing up. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Right on.
Love it.
Right,
see you, Derek.
Yeah, that's
Love
a
hearing
unique
stories
story,
like
right?
that.
Yeah, to hear about the combat vet in the industry. We didn't get to ask him about the Purple Heart. I had that one circled on my notes.
Oh yeah,
never got to that, so I'll have to figure out that story. But maybe that's not something he talks about all the time. I don't know.
That's cool. I love hearing those stories. Guys, this is ultimately his second career and served our country, and just found a new path.
Every time we talk to somebody, the path is a little bit different, right? Even if
Always.
they're younger and they straight up go to turf school, they're going to have a different path. to get to where they end up getting to. And yeah, that's a different one. We haven't really told a story like that before. You know, we did have Mr. Bacon on, who's had a bunch of military experience and stuff like that. But to have a guy who served in combat for 14 years and have to leave and
It's crazy.
figure out what are you going to do. You know, I remember struggling with leaving pro hockey and trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And I was very fortunate to find the turf industry, but leaving something like that. And he talked about the years of going through rehab and trying to figure out what
Oh,
he was going to do with his life. And he just kept returning to the golf course. And it's like, maybe I just come here every day and work.
yeah.
And now here he is. So it's, we
Yeah.
keep hearing about it happening, right? People find this job and they go, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Why don't more people know about
Yeah.
this?"
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah. Yeah. What a great story.
Was I
Hmm.
telling you we're talking about doing a masters pool for the Turf Today community?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't know if we're gonna do it through the actual masters platform. Certainly looking into that, but if not, we'll do something like Yahoo. And we got some prizes coming in, a few different things that we're working
Ooh,
on
beautiful.
with potential sponsors and things for it. So it should be fun. I don't know how many people you get to sign up for a pool like that, but it could be a lot.
Could be a lot. It could
Yeah,
be a lot.
or there's a limit and we just limit it and first however many people get in. But it should be fun and we're gonna post the leaderboard every day too. So hopefully there's
Ooh.
some chirping and
Ooh.
some yeah, some friendly wagering maybe. Who knows?
I love it. Just right around the corner.
Right around the
Less
corner.
less
Keep
than a month
talking about it.
away. God, that's hard to believe. That's scary.
I almost feel like there's not enough hype this year. There's usually a lot of hype, and all we've really heard about is Rory's dinner, which, holy smokes, did you read
I
that
haven't seen the
menu?
menu.
Oh,
No.
buddy.
What is it? What is it?
Pull it up. Pull it up. You need to experience this firsthand.
Is it a traditional Irish meal?
No, there's a little bit of that mixed in. I think they were saying
Okay.
the bottles of wine and champagne alone were, 5-10 grand each or something like that though. So it's looking like quite the meal.
Appetizers, peach and ricotta flatbread, rock shrimp tempura, bacon wrapped dates, and grilled elk sliders. Okay.
4 for
All
4.
right. Yeah, I can hang with those. First course, yellowfin tuna carpaccio. All right.
Never
Main
been there.
course. I can't say I've had the. Maybe I. No, I don't think I've had yellowfin tuna carpaccio. No, definitely out of my price range. Uh, Main course, wagyu filet or
Mm,
seared salmon. All right. All right. Yep, can definitely do that. And then for dessert, a sticky toffee pudding with
oof.
vanilla ice cream and warm toffee sauce. Oh, yep,
Yikes.
that sounds amazing.
That is a meal. Pair that with a little red wine and
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's see what's a 2015 Salon S, and then a bunch of other things that I can't pronounce. Champagne, 2022 Domaine La Flave. I don't know. Burgundy, a Bordeaux, another Bordeaux. Ooh, 1990 must have been a good vintage year. He's got two bottles from, or no, 89 and 90. All right.
wow.
All right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
could hang with that dinner. That's
that's gonna
pretty
be a
good.
meal. That'll be a meal.
That'll be pretty good.
That beats Bubba's, right?
Yeah, I
Chicken
don't remember what
breast,
he do.
green beans.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was just like the most plain Southern dinner you've ever had, but
Uh
still like a traditional meal. People just rip on it to this day.
this one looks pretty solid.
I
I
remember
would want to
everybody loved
see.
like Hideki's, right? Because he had all the
Oh
different
yeah.
stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I would have loved to have seen John Daly win that to see what his meal would have been. It would have been amazing.
Buffalo wings, Bud
Yeah,
Light.
that's right. He's going to cater in Hooters. It's going to be amazing.
That is good. I don't even know what I would do. I feel like there'd be so much pressure, but you did just win the
That
Masters, so
is. That
but
that would be there would be a lot of pressure on you to do
the
something
whole
like
world
that.
sees what you pick for food.
I know.
And
I
you
know. And you're
I'm,
going to be
I'm ass-
judged.
you can pick anything, right? Like it's pretty
Yeah.
much like what do you want?
Yep. Yep.
But
Well,
I thought he
I
did
love
a good job.
I love Tiger's stories after like he'd get a win and like his first meal after a win, instead of going, we're going to the steakhouse and we're going after it. It's like, hey, I'm going to McDonald's and getting my 2 cheeseburger meal. Like, what? All right, man. Well, this was another good one. I gotta jump on a 12:30 call here shortly and then pack up and hit the road.
Beautiful. Where are you heading?
Kids have one son has lacrosse in Cincinnati.
Oh shit!
And
Isn't your son
then,
coming to Ottawa tonight or this
yeah,
weekend?
he's there.
They're
He's there.
here. Wow.
He's there. He sent me some pictures already.
Is he here with Lauren, or is it just came up with a team?
No, his prep team. No, he's in Ottawa. Yeah, so I don't know what time they play, but yeah,
That's funny.
they got a full weekend. Oh man, I'm heading south. So after Ethan's game on Saturday, I'm packing up the sticks and heading to Pinehurst for a few days.
Yeah, buddy.
Go play some golf. Can't wait.
That's gonna be a good one. You got to put me down as a reserve next year if somebody pulls out of that trip, because that'd be fun.
Oh yeah,
that'd be cool.
We get this house that is it's a massive house, sleeps 12 people. So pretty much, everyone's got their own little spaces and all that. And then it's got a poker table and a pool table downstairs with the bar and all that. Oh my gosh. It's
no fun.
zero fun. So I've been making sure to train the liver in preparation for this trip. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm in playing shape right now. That's for sure.
Not a boy. That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, come back with more money than you left. That's the plan, right?
That's the goal. That's the goal. I got the chains for the prizes this year. We're ready.
All right, buddy. Well, have a good weekend.
Man.
Good job
you
today.
too. Yeah, we'll see you.
Okay, take care.
To Derek Williams, thank you so much for all of your time, brother. That was an awesome episode. All of our sponsors, thank you for all of your support. We cannot do it without you and the listeners. Obviously, we can't do it without the listeners. We appreciate all of the support and all of the love that has come in from everybody out there. It's great to hear all of your advice, and it's great to hear all the things you have to say about the show. It keeps us going, that's for sure. Keep those real sharp. We'll see you all next week.
I swore I'd block your number for good, but here you are texting me you up. I know exactly where this is, on your side of the bed at 3 a.m. I tell myself don't fall this time, but you say my name and I lose my mind. You're a bad idea again, but I always let you back in every time I say I'm done, I'm lying. You walk in the room and I stop trying. You're a bad idea again, but here I am at your door at 10. Guess I never learned my lesson. You're a bad idea again. Your friends all think I'm over this phase. Mine keep telling me to walk away, but we both know how the night goes. We talk a little, then lose control. I tell myself I'm stronger now, but you smile once and it all falls down. You're a bad idea again, but I always let you back in every time I say I'm done, I'm lying. You walk in the room and I start trying. You're a bad idea again, and here I am at your door at 10. Guess I never learned my lesson. You're a bad idea again. Maybe one day I'll actually quit, but tonight I'm not over it. You say come closer and I give in. Yeah, here